I recently came across a video on YouTube about the Colt family. I've lived in Australia my whole life, but I'd never heard of them before until a few days ago. The Colt family were found living in squalid conditions on a farm in rural New South Wales. There was no running water on the property, and the family slept in an assortment of caravans, tents and sheds, on mattresses soiled with urine and feces. Multiple reports had been made about the family's living conditions, but it wasn't until one of the few Colt children who occasionally went to school mentioned to a classmate that her sister was pregnant and they didn't know which one of her brothers was the father that anything was done about it. Authorities then investigated the family, and it was discovered that the Colt family were all closely related through 4 generations of inbreeding. Many of the children had a variety of cognitive and physical disabilities, and a range of other health problems, including severe dental decay, fungal infections, and malnutrition. As would be expected for children growing up in an environment where they were isolated, neglected, groomed, and abused, many of the children had psychological and behavioral problems. It was reported that some of the children tortured animals, mutilating their genitals, and one threatened to stab caseworkers with a pencil and cut their throats. I won't go into detail about the horrific abuse these children suffered here. I think it's pretty clear what was going on with the information I've already provided. After hearing about this family, I fell into a rabbit hole. I needed to know who they really were, and after searching online for a while, I managed to find their true identities. And of course, I looked them all up on Facebook out of curiosity. During my numerous Facebook searches, I discovered that one member of the Colt family is currently living in the same town as me. What shocked me the most, though, was the unbelievable resemblance she had to a girl I knew years ago. This girl told me she'd been adopted because her biological parents were ice users, but she was a compulsive liar and had a lot of mental health problems. I can't help but wonder if the Colt woman is her biological mother or relative. Before finishing the video, if you do happen to look this family up and find the same information as me, please be respectful and leave them alone. Most of these people are victims who never had a chance at a normal life, all because of one main abuser. It's fine to be curious, but it is not okay to harass these people or broadcast their identity. A lot of people in the forums I came across were appalled that some of the adults in the Colt family who were abused as children went on to become abusers themselves. Most victims of childhood abuse don't grow up to be perpetrators, but it's important to remember that with the Colt family, these people were kept isolated and were groomed from a young age to think that this was normal. They also most likely had cognitive disabilities from the inbreeding. Another thing people found disturbing was the fact that some of the older children tried to return to their family after being removed. This is fairly common with children who are removed from abusive homes for a number of reasons. I think with the Colt family it might have been a fear of the unknown, attachment issues, and also because they felt that they belonged with their family and didn't fully understand how what had happened to them was wrong. One of the Colt children, who would have been a teenager at the time they were removed, has a YouTube channel with a series of videos of himself and some of the other children talking to the camera, making accusations of abuse towards the Resicare workers and foster carers. They are difficult to understand and seem to have trouble with their speech. It's quite disturbing to watch. These kids will probably struggle in a number of ways for the rest of their lives because of what they've been through. I really feel that the system has failed them, and this went on for far too long before any kind of intervention was made.